The wait is over. The Walking Dead is back. Don't miss the extended 10th season featuring 6 new episodes, each focused on different favorite characters. Get ready for high-stakes showdowns, emotional reckonings, and more info about your favorite Walking Dead survivors. Start watching the latest season today and catch new episodes of Season 10 early with AMC+. From season binges and exclusive content to early access to new episodes, the best Walking Dead experience is only on AMC+. Get lost in the Walking Dead universe today. Available ad-free and on demand. Sign up at amcplus.com. AMC Plus, only the good stuff.
Hey, it's Mark Roberts and Davey Dave and Tootie.
Rod Tootie.
Rod Tootie Rinks.
Get it right.
Welcome to Let's Get Into Entertainment.
The business of entertainment, Mr. Rinks.
Thanks, guys. Good. You guys are getting good.
Oh, man.
I feel like a dad. You know what I mean? Like you guys, seasoned pros I'm with now.
Simpatico.
Today we're going to be getting into the business of entertainment. You know, it's funny. I can't believe how much business of entertainment there is. You know, at first I was like, oh, man, like how much business of entertainment could there be? Are we really going to be doing a podcast about this? But turns out there's all kinds of business.
A lot of business. Not
just making movies, not just being an actor, not just, being a director or producer, but there's all kinds of other areas, which are pretty fascinating. Today we're going to be talking to Johnny Rodriguez. He's a visual guy over at 42 Entertainment. He's also an artist. He does a lot of interesting stuff with graphics and things like that, websites. And we're going to talk to him about how he got in the business, what he's doing now. I heard he did some murals with Shepherd Ferry, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So that, he's in a lot of different areas. So we'll be talking to him about what he's up to in a couple of minutes. And in the meantime, hang with us and we'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Let's Get Into Entertainment.
The business of entertainment.
Thanks, bud. Hey, welcome, you guys.
Hey,
it's good to see you.
Good to be back.
It's always good to see you guys and talk about entertainment and what's going on. You know, it's weird because
I call you every day on my ride in and talk about entertainment. Literally, we talk every day.
Yeah, it's almost like the podcast is just part of my day because really I'm always talking about entertainment at all moments. You call me at 8 o'clock in the morning. First thing he says to me is like, "What are you having your French press?"
And I'm like, "Yeah." You know, I tell him, I say, "It's Modelo time, fool."
That's what's up.
But no, you do call me every day. You do have questions like, should I open an LLC? Should I, what kind of deal should I make with my composer? All those kinds of questions that come up at 7 o'clock in the morning that we talk about, and hopefully it helps you out.
It does.
I'm still asleep at 7 o'clock, by the way.
I call you a couple times. Remember?
Yeah, a couple times.
Hello.
Yeah.
Like, wake your ass up. You're an adult now.
Hey, but before we get on with Johnny Rodriguez, I was thinking about how important it is to be positive in this business because there's so much, you get turned down so much.
Yeah.
And I was thinking today, I was talking to Netflix. I sent an email to Netflix, the executive that had called us in and had been listening to my pitches for, a couple of years, has passed on everything I pitched, just recently picked up a pitch. I guess my point is I pitch a lot all the time and I get passed on a lot and I don't make a lot of things, because this business is about how many times can you get out there with pitches and how many stories and, don't get too attached to your stories. If they don't work, move on to something that may work,
Or you come back and revisit.
I guess you can do that.
Well, what do you mean you guess? You're doing that with the Mozart thing.
Yeah, but there has to be new things. Movies is a lot like Wall Street.
A lot of highs and lows, man.
Yeah, you got to keep pitching people, hey, this is a new stock. Hey, there's this new thing. I want you to invest in this new company. And you get mostly no's until you get some yeses. And, film business isn't any different. I think you get hot sometimes, but even when you're hot, you've still pitched 100 things and only sold 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So I would say if you're out there, if you're listening, if you believe in something, it just has to get listened to and pitched to the right person.
You were telling me the story that you pitched somebody and you kept pitching and pitching this one thing, and then you called them, and didn't you read the actual pitch on their voicemail? Or
yeah, actually that's a good point. There was this, but still I didn't sell it, but here's how much I believed in it. I sent the script, I sent a write-up, I sent the write-up again, took the text, copied it, and put it in the body of the email. So I did everything I could to have this person listen to my pitch or read the pitch or, somehow get the pitch.
Yeah.
Eventually they didn't do it. So I decided that I was going to record the pitch document myself, like you're listening to me now.
Yeah.
So I read the entire thing and sent it to him. And I said, look, if you're driving to work for 30 minutes, listen to this tape or listen to this recording. And it was me reading the pitch doc.
And he called you back.
And he called me back and said, that was awesome, whatever. But yeah, I was relentless in my push. And even though he wouldn't read it, and even though he wouldn't open the document, he wouldn't even open a text. He wouldn't, he just wasn't getting around to it. I finally just recorded it.
Hustling. Look at Robert's out here hustling. So Davey Dave, this is what we're going to do now.
Yeah.
We're going to record my coming of age film, you and
Perfect.
and we're going to send it to Roberts every single day, a different page every day.
I didn't sell
but he heard it at least.
Yeah,
And didn't he like it? He
We
was
had
like,
a good chat about it.
there we go.
You have to practice the reverse, right? You know how you pitch something, someone says, I don't like it, or I don't want it, and then you feel bad, and then it kind of discourages you. You have to practice the opposite. So when someone says no to you, it just gets you more fired up.
Yep.
Or it just makes you want to pitch 3 more people.
Yeah.
It's a muscle, though. It is a muscle. It's
Yeah.
a muscle that you have to work out that has you react differently to someone turning you down. Anyway, so that's an interesting conversation. And I think lots of people should, find their superhero strength and practice and work out that muscle of being turned down and having the turn down just give you fuel to the fire.
That's why I call you every morning, because I know you're going to shoot me down, but I need to get the calluses going.
There you go.
right.
There you
Get
go.
the
I like
day
that.
ready.
All right,
You're
well,
going to shoot me down.
Listen, to be continued, because we've got Johnny Rodriguez on the phone right now. We're going to bring him in. Hey, Johnny, you there?
Yes, I am.
Johnny, so look, we were talking about you. You sort of work in a lot of areas, and I want to get specific about what they are, because on Let's Get Into Entertainment, by the way, and welcome to the show. We talk a lot about how entertainment has all these different facets. A lot of times when you're a kid from East LA like myself, you don't realize that there's so many things that you can do in entertainment. You just see like actors, you see directors, you see producers, and as a result, that's what you end up wanting to be. But a lot of people turn left and right and do other things and have other talents. And Johnny Rodriguez, you seem to have the talent of art, which seems to fit into a lot of different areas in entertainment. So, would you give me a little bit about what it is that you do?
Sure. So I am currently a VP of visual design at an agency called Animal Repair Shop. We also have another agency called 42 Entertainment. It is a weird hybrid kind of agency that deals with, it's essentially storytelling. And if you were to look at it at a surface level, it's marketing. But we do it in a very obscure, weird, different kind of way. So to describe it, the best way I can describe it is taking all forms of mediums from print, TV, motion design, web design, and telling a story for our clients. So if Nine Inch Nails has a movie or an album that they want to release, instead of buying ads on TV, or in a magazine or a billboard, they come to us and we tell a story. We create a large thread, a universe, and then we chop it up, split it up, and distribute it throughout the ether and allow the players to find it. And in turn, they become the flag wavers. So the idea is basically that there's so many billboards as we drive through LA that it becomes noise and we don't pay attention to that stuff. And so when someone picks something up and they find something and they become like the bearer of that news and they share it peer to peer, then they become the flag wavers. And now I'm more willing to listen to my homie that's like, bro, you got to check out this song that I found. And I think it's part of this hidden game. Something's going on here. And so that one person tells 2 and those 2 tell 4 million people. And they feel responsible for it. So it's basically like, I don't know if you remember like the Christmas Story when he's sitting in the restroom and he's like with his decoder ring and he's like, drink more Ovaltine.
Right.
I don't know if you guys remember that. It's a movie that I watch every year.
I kind of do remember that. Yeah.
It sounds like our text
that,
chain.
Because I think it's super important that for me, I don't want to say that everybody, but for me, it's super important that I have other things going on outside of commercial work. So I also do mural work and I paint, and I'm represented here in LA, and I show in galleries and I show in museums around the world, of which most importantly, last year I did a full tour in Mexico, and the last stop was in Guadalajara. So
Jalisco. Yeah, nice. Hey, so, all right. Well, just to be clear, you, at 42 Entertainment, you guys sort of do non-traditional, work to get attention for, music videos, albums, all types of media, or just specifically in the music business?
All types. So
That's awesome.
We've released, let's see if I can do this. We released a Ford Mustang, the Ford Fusion. We've released multiple albums for various artists. We helped release The Dark Knight for the Nolans and Warner Brothers, the movie.
Yeah.
Tron for Disney.
So the work that you're doing is innovative. It's on the cutting edge, and it's how people are now getting their information in terms of marketing and finding out if you want to see a product. It's about your friends sharing this and saying, "Hey, this is a really cool thing to check out," and somehow that catches fire with the marketing that you do.
Well, so technology's put us in a weird and special position in that, say for like if you're buying an album, typically, I don't know if you guys do, but I don't buy the entire album. I'll buy just a single song, maybe my favorite track in the album. And if I'm watching a TV show, then I'm more than likely turning off commercials. And so now it's just because of technology and the ability to stream and cherry pick how we want to view entertainment, like advertising is much harder to reach people it's harder to reach people with traditional advertising. And so this was just an avenue to get us, or to get like obscure audiences that then are kind of like the cool kids, in a sense, to reach their peers and get them to pay attention to like whatever product that we're essentially peddling.
That's
to put it that way.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And by the way, thank you for sharing that, because I think in the business, people tend to not know that there's companies like your company doing what they're doing. And I think technology is moving so quickly. It's fun to have you here explaining a new way of getting the word out on movies, on videos, on albums. I mean, I think it's really cool. So, but let me go back. Okay. I want to go back. Where are you originally from? Where did you grow up?
So I grew up in Bolen 13. I'm just playing.
Yeah. Barrio Nuevo.
Bolen 13 was like the local gang that owned my.
Yeah. And I think ours
were,
I think ours was Barrio Nuevo Estrada or something like that. You grew up in Highland Park though?
No, I grew up in Baldwin Park.
I'm sorry.
Home of In-N-Out.
Right. And what school did you go? What high school did you go to there?
Baldwin Park.
Baldwin Park High School. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Graduated in 92.
That's what's up. That's me too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You look young for 92, player. I graduated from Bonita Vista High School down in Chula Vista. Well, Bonita Vista. It's in Bonita, but it's in Chula pretty much.
You look really young, man.
Oh, thanks, brother.
Too young to be 46.
Right?
Is that how old you are?
I looked younger until I had kids. Huh?
Is that how old you are? Dang.
46? No, 45.
I thought you were like 51 or something.
Hey, take it easy.
That's weird.
Take it easy.
Well, we're all
wise guy.
We're all Latinos here. We all, I think, we all grew up in the same type of environment, and we all had dreams of coming across the 710 freeway, or 110 freeway or whatever.
Mine was the 805.
Yours was the 805.
South of the 54, that was the hood.
That's where you.
If you're past the 54, then you
National City, you got trouble.
Yeah. National City was bad. I don't want to fuck with National City. That's where Alarcon's from.
But
Yeah.
how soon did you know that you had an artistic bone? You know, how soon did you know you could paint and draw and do all that kind of stuff?
Like around 2 or 3 years old.
That's cool.
So I knew pretty early. I knew that I was a really different kid.
Yeah.
And my memory goes pretty far back. And I remember feeling that like I am not like these other kids. And my life will be really different.
So you already knew that?
Yeah, my dad, who's passed away, but he was a different kind of cat. And when I was like 3 years old, I remember drawing on the floor in the house. It was my favorite place to draw. It was at the front doorway with the door open, cool breeze. I remember my dad walking by when I was around 3, and he walked up to me and he said, "It's not that you're drawing on the paper, it's that your pencil's an eraser and it's revealing something that's always been there." And as a 3-year-old, I was like, what the fuck do I do with that? I don't know. What does that mean to me? So I've spent the rest of my life just kind of like meditating on that concept.
Yeah.
But I knew that I knew my place in life, essentially.
What were you drawing?
Knight Rider and robots.
That's cool.
And Star Wars and
Cool.
hearts for girls, hearts for my teachers.
Wow.
I had some hot teachers.
That's I did too. Art is such a difficult thing to put your finger on. I recently did a documentary about Carlos Almaraz, who also grew up in East Los Angeles, went to Roosevelt, and you know, I learned a lot, and I still, you know, I just today I was looking at a painting of his and just thinking, you know, what he might have been thinking and how amazing the brushstrokes are and how remarkable it is that he used a dark blue underneath, you know, a certain image, and I think artists, you know, it's such an odd existence, and I find it interesting when I find artists that just do, you know, that only paint, but you know, you seem to have taken it into a different direction and you do different things with your art. But I also saw some of your art, and it's amazing. Where do you get your inspiration for the artwork that you do?
It comes from all over the place. I think a primary place is music. Like, let's see. So like, for example, Ana Gabriel.
Sure.
She released an album that is made up of just very like traditional mariachi music.
Mm-hmm.
And there are songs, that whole album is like amazing. But there are tracks on that album where it sounds like someone is literally like reaching into her chest and ripping her heart out. The way she's just like crying when she's singing, and it's so intense and so deep and so heavy. And so when I paint, I made sure that when I painted, that I would make it as personal and as emotional as possible. And so listening to like her, or Edith Piaf, or Bob Marley, and the way they just make everything so personal, and they just open up their chest and just completely expose themselves. So that's a massive part of my inspiration. Yeah. Visually, that like I could go down a list of artists that like changed my life as a little kid, but it's mainly music, I would say.
Have you guys seen, going back to Bob Marley, have you guys seen the trailer for Songbird?
Yeah.
Fucking crazy, right? And he uses Don't Worry. What's that? Is that Don't Worry About a Thing? I forget what.
Three Little Birds.
Three Little Birds. Have you seen that one yet, Johnny?
I have not. I will after this, for sure.
It's a Michael Bay movie, and it's basically about like the future of being in this pandemic, and it's only gotten worse. But it starts off with that song plays throughout this trailer in different tempos and it's so fucking fucked up. I mean, it's such a beautiful song, and what's happening on the screen is horrifying, and it's powerful. It's fucking really powerful.
Yeah, you lost me at Michael Bay.
Well, I mean, I just check it out.
He does that.
I do that. But, I talk from my own breath here. You know what I mean? It's my own exercise. No one gives a shit. Maybe Davey Dave a little bit, right?
It was interesting.
He's going to cut me out anyways. That's what he does.
That's not true.
That's how he does it.
That's not
I started the damn show and he cut me out. That happens to me all the time.
But it is, art is personal too. When you see, I was looking at some of your art, it seemed there's birds inside of bombs, I think, or grenades.
Sure.
And I don't know. I don't know where that came from, but what I felt about it is there's obviously something deeply personal about what you were painting there and what you're trying to say. Maybe something about war, something about feeling trapped. I don't know, but it's definitely compelling, which is, what makes a great artist. I think when you're able to look at someone's work and sort of get lost in there and try to, figure out what it's about and what the painter's personal feelings are, I think it becomes really special. But what's the story with those pieces of work?
I will do my best to. I'll try my best to say this as fast as I can because I have a lot to say. Essentially, I know I'm a warrior. The brown in me that I was born with in my blood, in my sangre, I am through and through a warrior. I love fighting. And my dad saw that in me as a little kid. And my dad's a warrior. He was un guerrillero from Nicaragua. And so I had lost him during the 1980s Contra CIA mix-up in Nicaragua. And physically, he came back to me. But mentally, I had lost him because of IEDs exploding and just a lot of trauma to his brain and whatnot. And once I got older, he saw that I was maybe headed towards, he saw that I was a really angry person. And he made me promise him not to fight, not to go to war, not to sign up for the military, and that he had done the fighting for me. And so I found ways to fight in a healthy way, in my own way. But I also wanted to have this sense of fight for a reason and something that I'm passionate about. And so what I did was start to create this story that essentially talks about love. These bombs or these elements that are super vicious. And when dropped on a city, they're devastating. They'll kill millions of people. And so the idea that there's a society of birds that are catching them in midair before they explode, ripping out what symbolically is hate and replacing them with love, and then spreading that concept throughout the world. That, in a nutshell, is where that comes from.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting you say that. I think looking at the art, you feel something beautiful in it, and also something violent in it, and yeah, I think it's pretty remarkable. So tell me about, it's funny, the documentary I did, I interviewed Shepard Fairey for it. He did us a great favor by talking about Carlos Almaraz's life and his art. But I apparently you did something with him too. What did you guys did some murals together or work together in some way?
Man, I want to say but this COVID thing's got my timeline all messed up because we've all disappeared for a certain period of time. But it feels like we just finished a mural in so Warner Brothers Music. Yeah, they used to have a section on the lot here in Burbank, and the studio evicted them, and they needed to consolidate all their brands, and they wanted to do it all under one roof. And so they picked up in the Arts District. There is a building that it's called the Model T building, where they used to build the Model T Fords. Oh, wow. And they brought in, because they have 5 or 6 record labels. So they brought them all under one roof. And so myself, Shepard Fairey, and Tristan Eaton painted large murals inside the building.
That's dope.
That's awesome. Yeah. Did you guys get to work together at the same time, or was it all separate?
It was at the same time. Cool. Yeah, it was neat. Like what I would say about Shepherd Ferry is that it's like I don't know, it's kind of like he's got a band. It's like this mini concert going on. It's not just a visual thing that they're doing. There's sounds that come with it. So they're playing like this beautiful soundtrack that I grew up with. And because they're spraying so much, the particles are falling to the floor, and it's all adhesive particles. So anytime they step, they're constantly making this like the feet ripping off the floor noise.
Yeah.
And then this music going on, and there's this energy of all these artists just like ripping and shredding and exacto blading. And it was a special treat to have that. And then on top of that, to have him on a daily basis stand behind me and watch me paint. And so that was a special moment.
Yeah, that's cool. I would imagine I'd be standing there going like, Shepard, can you pass me the blue? Let me have the blue crayon, Shepard, the blue crayon, bro.
Yeah,
the blue crayon, bro. Thank you for being here. I love the idea that you're an artist first, and that you've learned to turn that into money and into a future, and that you know yourself well enough that that you're important and valuable. I think that's what we talk a lot about on the show, is that know who you are, know what you offer, and great things will come to you. So it definitely sounds like you're doing innovative work. You're doing amazing artwork that is personal to you, which is where great art comes from. And you continue to do stuff in the community, which is pretty awesome. So thank you for being with us. We appreciate you chatting about all that.
Thanks for having me, guys.
There's going to be a great movie coming out called Made in Mexico. That's an amazing film. It should be nominated for an Oscar. I mean, it's close, right?
Or two.
Am
I talking to the directors of said film?
What I mean. Yeah, I guess hey. So I might need to get the word out.
I'm excited to see your work.
Yeah.
He directed, he wrote, he produced, he acted, he did it. He's kind of like Rodriguez. So.
I did it all.
Yeah.
I did it all. It took a toll on my body, but it's okay.
Yeah. That's how it's supposed to be done.
There you go. See that? But Johnny, thank you again for being with us. We really appreciate you. Hopefully you can come back and let us know what you've got coming in the future, would you?
Absolutely. Whatever you guys need.
All right, buddy. Thanks so much.
Ciao.
Johnny was fascinating.
Yeah.
Really cool.
It's crazy how things are changing. You know what I mean? Look at the marketing push and all that stuff that he was saying that they're doing. Yeah. 42, what is the company? 42
Entertainment, but we don't have enough time on the podcast to get into what that means. I wish there was more of a visual on that, because Dave, you probably know more about what he's talking about than we do,
I'm familiar,
right?
Yeah.
Because that's about a movement. That's no longer, marketing is one thing, putting out a commercial and like using the subconscious, how many times you see that commercial to go buy something. But this is different. This is about using the peers and people that are like you.
Yeah, it's way deeper.
Yeah, I mean, it's deep, right? Mm-hmm. What I really like about it is that he came from the hood, just like we did. And he knew at age 2 or 3 that he was going to be going into art for the rest of his life. And somehow he found a personal, connection to the work that he was doing. I mean, he seems highly emotional.
Yeah.
Like as you ask him about it, which I think is
deep character.
Yeah, is a value. But I definitely want to say you guys should check out his art. I mean, Johnny Rodriguez's art is pretty remarkable. I wonder if I can afford it. I'm not sure I can.
Man. I got to check it out.
I would really love to have one of those birds like in a bomb.
Yeah.
They're really cool. But anyway, that was awesome having him on. What's cool about him is that he connects most of his work through music.
Yeah.
I wonder if he uses extrememusic.com.
I was going to ask him the same thing, Robert.
I think we should actually, you know what? I think we should send him an email saying, hey, if you're going to be doing artwork, and you're motivated by art, go in there and punch your feelings. Yeah. I feel mad today. Boom. I bet you there's something right there.
Yeah.
Anger. Passion. Feelings. Nothing more than feelings. Oh, that's a good voice right there.
He gets feelings in the morning when I call him.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
All feelings.
All charged up. I'm
all Modelo time, foo. He's like, no, feelings.
No, I'm not Modelo time, foo. But look, I think he should definitely look into extrememusic.com. We have been looking into it, and it's been awesome. I am working on a couple of new movies, and I'm going to be looking into a bunch. I want to talk to Russ about, because I want to go one step further. In other words, if I call Russ and say, I'm working on this movie, it's a comedy, but I really want to have this great, it's a romantic comedy. I want to have a couple of great romantic pieces, and I want them to be a cappella, and have him help, maybe have those composed for me.
Oh, right.
So that I can have input into what they sound like.
Yeah.
So I want to talk to him about that.
So just all in one. Like you got your music, you got your canned music, but then you got something that can compose for you too.
Because he's got such great deals, I just keep thinking, like, why use someone else when you can use Extreme Music and do it all in one place? And I think that's what his other company's about.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
So I wanted to talk to him about that. But listen, check out extrememusic.com for all your music needs, because if you're a creative like Johnny Rodriguez, punch in some music, listen to it right there.
That's it. While you're jamming out, painting, doing your thing,
writing.
You know what's funny about that is I have a friend. His name's Christian Vincent. He's a great
I met
artist.
Christian Vincent.
Yeah, you know Christian. Yeah,
we got hammered together in New York.
Yeah.
I was supposed to do a documentary with him.
Yeah. Oh my God, these guys! I started rolling up into my head. I was like, "Come on, guys, stop!"
But it was actually it was pretty good. His story was pretty compelling.
Okay, so.
It was like The Big Chill, but for artists.
It was. It was. Christian Vincent is a great artist, and he has this system where he goes to Starbucks in the morning. He gets 2 vanilla lattes on ice. He takes their ventis. He takes them to his, painting area, cranks his music, drinks his latte. It's all the same system, right? It's what he does. That's how he does. How he starts his day, and Johnny uses music. And what do you use?
What do I use?
Yeah. Like, is there a system, or you just show up in your pantuflas and you just start writing?
At home? Well, normally I have to try to escape from my kids who are like wanting to sit on my lap and see what I'm doing. But what I normally do is I'll call you to see what you dislike the most, and then I'll go with that. It just depends. Like this podcast has really helped me, because in the past I would this will make a cool story, where now I really think about it, and I think about, where would this land? What bucket would it go in, Roberts, if I had a bucket?
Yeah.
Or if it's marketable and sellable, and who can I get to get involved in it? You know what I mean? Because you got to have that. You can't just blindly start writing shit. You're going to waste your time.
Yeah.
And, what's the point then?
Unless you're doing it for yourself, then
Unless you're doing it for yourself, but then at the end of the day, you
got to be looking to sell it.
You got to be looking
to sell it. But look, just to go back to the beginning of this, don't stop working. Don't stop pitching.
No.
Don't stop telling people about your dreams, because the way it works is the more you tell people about what you're doing, the more people are going to believe that that's what you do.
And trust yourself.
And trust yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe that your ideas are valid. Go out there and put them out there. And, I posted something on our Instagram today.
I'm glad you said our Instagram, not the Instagram.
Yeah,
that was very big of you. I was waiting for you to do that.
I posted today, I said, believe in yourself, trust your instincts. Do your project and believe in what you're putting on the screen, because at the end of it, you'll know what you bring to the table.
Yeah.
So if you don't trust yourself and you trust everyone else, then you'll never know what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
If you trust yourself and put it up there and people love it, then you know what your value is.
Yeah.
If you do it and people don't love it and it ends up being something that you don't have a good experience doing, then maybe you should look into doing something else.
Mm-hmm.
But at least you know.
Yeah.
There's no confusion, right? It was my idea. I did it the way I wanted to do, and this is what I believed was going to work, and it did or it didn't.
I was watching some of Made in Mexico the other day, and I was like, fuck, did I write that? Fuck, that's good. Damn it.
Well, that's what you brought to the table.
Which would lead us into Ollie.
We're not going to talk about Ollie right
now. What a dick.
You did do a great job on Made in Mexico, and you found out what you bring to the table, and it's going to bring you other work, and it already has, and we'll talk about that on the next show. But thank you to Johnny Rodriguez. Okay. Thank you, David Day, for being here, and thank you, what's your name?
See,
Rod Titty Rinks. Rod Titty Rinks.
Thanks a lot. You know what? We are big in Peru.
Number one
in Peru. That's what's up. You want to go to, what is it, Machu Picchu?
Machu Picchu. Do it at the top of the mountain.
You ain't down, Roberts.
I'm not down, but I want to thank you guys all for being on the show today.
He's over it.
Thank you guys for being here. We will see you next time on Let's Get Into Entertainment. The business of entertainment.
The wait is over. The Walking Dead is back. Don't miss the extended 10th season featuring 6 new episodes, each focused on different favorite characters. Get ready for high-stakes showdowns, emotional reckonings, and more info about your favorite Walking Dead survivors. Start watching the latest season today and catch new episodes of Season 10 early with AMC+. From season binges and exclusive content to early access to new episodes, the best Walking Dead experience is only on AMC+. Get lost in the Walking Dead universe today. Available ad-free and on demand. Sign up at amcplus.com. AMC+, only the good stuff.